Ladies and gentlemen, our friends and guests who are with us tonight, it is my delight to have with us in the studio Abdul. So, Abdul, you founded Paysend in 2017. You've grown it to hold 2 million customers worldwide. That's in over 90 countries. And you're poised now to enter the huge Canadian and US markets. I thought of Paysend, first of all, as the WhatsApp of international money transfer, with a mission to make payments fast, economic, and safe. But you called it a disruptive, fully integrated online payment ecosystem, but more on that later. So your business is grounded on basic financial movement needs and is already a major driver of funds for education and health across borders. Your community involvement has grown with your business with programs like the Luminary Foundation, it's a kids program, and support for education, for which you've just won the Rybakov Prize, which is considered like a Nobel Prize for social enterprise. Now, Abdul, thank you so much for being here, and I'm looking forward to all the insights. Tell me, first of all, how did you wind up in FinTech?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dad, for your introduction. That's answering to your question. Let me give a very kind of short introduction myself. To answer to your question, first of all, I'm entrepreneur using computer engineering background. Right. So, and my interest was always finding some simple solution for complex problems. So in terms of the FinTech, the question that always I've been struggling with, why any transfers is so complex and expensive. There's two things actually sparked curiosity, and I started such a way my first businesses before Paysend.
Okay. So what actual enterprises were you running before you came into FinTech?
So, I mean, that was again the FinTech company. It was C24. It was successful, let's say, money, banking transfer and money transfer business, which been operating in more than 170 countries around the globe.
Right.
And, so it mostly was that brick and mortar.
Right.
But considering that my let's say, as I said, my background, my engineering background, my interest, and I sold successfully in 2014 and started my Paysend project that we launched in 2017.
Absolutely. So what have you found so far the most appealing, sticky thing that's kept you hooked in FinTech? You've been in this arena for a while. You must have seen things come and go. But what keeps you excited and wanting to stay within the arena?
But let's say what I want to give some kind of the let's say comparison, right? When you talk about the fin, we are talking about the crucial system,
right?
In human communications, in interaction, in terms of the let's say moving the goods or buying the goods, the paying for goods or moving the money. It's a kind of that, let's say, central element within the system. Right? So, but when you add the tech, this is financial services. When you add the tech, that's the most exciting thing for me, because we are most about the technology company that provide the financial services, which is that really excited me a lot. That technology can change the way of providing the services in terms of the cost, time, and barriers.
Right. So in terms of the application of the tech, I mean, it's almost as if in the service you're providing, you're talking a different language to what you were before.
Please, can you, it was some interruption, can you clarify, please, the question?
Okay, what I mean is that in terms of the tech you can now apply, it's almost as if you're talking a different language, a much more efficient language for delivering a service which is, since the beginning of time, the movement of money has been central to our welfare, all of us as human beings. But this tech has taken it, as far as you're concerned, to another level. I mean, the way you called it a disruptive ecosystem, an online payment ecosystem. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, that's kind of a very important element. So, because nowadays, if we're talking about the single product companies, right? So you provide a single best product to your consumers. But in order to deliver the best product and in time and in a costly manner, you have to control the critical elements of this system. What are the critical elements of providing the payments services to the customers? There are the two critical elements from my point of view. Number one, it's a pay tech value chain and the infrastructure and network. And second, it's actually holistic payment solution. What I mean there by saying the holistic payment solution, as soon as you have to build that full integrated pay tech platform, and you have to build a network, you have to build a framework, as soon as you build it, then it makes sense to provide the services not just to the consumers, but for businesses as well. In such a way, you can create a profitable business from the day one. Your unit economic would be profitable for day one, as we as a Paysend do have.
Right. So it really, in a sense, I mean, you have created a new city within a world of money, of money services, and you are now wanting to get as many immigrants into this system as possible. Does that work? Is that a good analogy?
I mean, this is kind of some high level understanding when you're talking about some segment of the customers.
Yes.
Nowadays, you cannot differentiate because it's so many kind of the migrations going on. It's a tourist migration, is that expat migration, is a students migration, people moving around the globe, people moving money around the globe. So that's why we do not focus on specific group of the consumers. What we are saying that we're targeting two elements. We're targeting those who want to travel themselves, and we target those who make travel their money. So that's the two elements, very crucial in terms of our focus, and we create a product for these two type of customer, if you like.
Okay. Going forward, as you develop this ecosystem, as you call it, what do you anticipate as the biggest mountains you've got to climb?
So that's a two-way to say, right? In terms, if to answer to your question directly, the person I do have in my mind always the Everest, because I mean, in terms of that, it's closer to the truth, it's closer to the God, but importantly, it's actually the path going up to the Everest is more important than Everest itself. Absolutely. But if you talk about as a Paysend, as a company, like a system, what we really want to create and what we are, let's say, aiming is building the global leader in payments.
Right. So again, as far as your customers are concerned, you are setting yourself challenges they're not aware of. All they see is the end result, which is the service that they want, with speed, with fidelity, at a reasonable cost. Do you see many of your competitors following in the same vein going forward?
You know that, I mean, I actually do not see to the world via the competitiveness point of view, from the competition point of view. I'll explain you why. Because in general, if you look at the market, if you look at the services per se, there are many players are providing the very similar services, right? So they are the big banking institution, they are other players, they're providing the similar services. Then some of them successful, some of them not. Some of these services customers love, some of them they ignore, right? So, and you can ask them, what's the reason of this? Definitely there are functionality. This is true, that customers love when it's easy to use. And definitely is a cost when everybody loves that, to pay less to moving the money around the globe or moving the money for the coffee, doesn't matter for what reason. And number three, nobody loves the barriers. Nobody loves that when when they intend to pay or move the money, they have a barriers. They've been told you can't do this, or there's a price is very hard, or time is unacceptable. So from this perspective, in the front, it comes that what is the user experience you provide to your consumers? Absolutely. That's important point.
Yes. Sure. Okay. So, I mean, given the way you think about your business, given the passion you obviously have for this whole space in fintech, what would you like to think of as your proudest or most valuable contribution to the sector since you've been in it? Don't be shy.
Yeah, but maybe not directly the question you asked, but right. I'm really proud, let's say, of my team, that we've been able to bring to the market completely new product, which is a card-to-card money transfer, right. That put together 12 billion cards issued by 3 major payment systems, as a Visa, MasterCard, and China UnionPay, that our consumer can, let's say, frictionless send money from the existing card to the recipient's card instantly. That still we are just a player providing these services. So I believe that this is the future of the money transfer, and I'm proud of my team that we've been able to launch as a first company in the world.
Okay, terrific. So Abdul, I mean, what does Paysend's future look like? Where do you think you're headed after COVID, in a post-COVID world? Where do you think you are headed? I think I picked up that you were trying to describe what people's needs would look like going forward, but how will you be responding to that?
So, from exactly offer what I have said, answering to the previous question. What we want to do, that we want to offer the effective solutions in terms of that addressing 3 major problems around the payment, which is, I have said, cost, time, and barriers, and that we covering the 90% of everyday's payment needs. What is the 90% the financial needs, each of us? It's around payment. It's about paying money, transferring the money, and the holding money in the account. We have to pay for coffee. We need to move the money for goods and services. We need to transfer to the close one somewhere. So these are our 90% everyday needs. And as a Paysend, we address these needs in a manner that would give the best solution in terms of the cost, time, and barriers. So as a result, what we do have in our head as a strategic goal, in sometimes later, when anybody customer think about payment, it should come to their mind that Paysend, payment equal to Paysend. That's our goal.
Terrific. You know, I can't help but wonder, you must have encountered a fair bit of payback from legacy systems. And I mean, you're linking 3 major charge card systems around the world. How have you confronted these issues? Were there always technical solutions that you could offer up?
Actually, this is exactly the complex kind of the solution. So it's definitely, there are the technical part, there are the product part, there are the business part, when you need to have the right agreement and the framework in place. So this is combination of several elements, crucial elements, and definitely knowledge how to make it happen. These are crucial part of the success.
Okay. Now, I mean, we're coming pretty much to the end of our time. But is there a question you'd have liked me to have asked you that I haven't asked you yet, or Ollie ventured into yet?
Dad, you are great kind of a journalist. So you put in kind of the in a very uncomfortable space.
It's called the catch-all in the trade.
Right. So listen. Yeah, I would like you to ask me the question.
Mm-hmm.
What I would do as a fintech entrepreneur,
Sure.
if money as a payment means disappear.
If money as a payment means disappeared.
Yeah.
Fabulous. This is next world stuff. Answer the question.
You know that because I time to time I'm asking to my team these type of questions, which is definitely would sound strange, but out of the scope, crazy. But why I'm asking these questions? I want always the team thinking beyond the box. They need to think beyond the box. So, but my answer would be very simple. So, if money as a payment means would disappear, I would focus on luminary project and make this project the most successful educational project with many fintech elements in it.
Fantastic. Leveraging your strengths as ever. Well, look, I got to say, Abdul, there is one thing that the three of you that I've spoken to so far have in common. You're really quite visionary. You're very, very, very nimble-minded in the way you address problems. And you never give me the answers that I'm expecting. So all I can say is congratulations and long may it continue. And I wish Paysend every good fortune. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Tad. Thank you, everybody who's been attending this webinar. Thank you. Have a good day.